You just clap. Please, can you give him a Nigerian clap? Because if you say they should lock us out, we are out of here. That is the man who is in charge of all of this. And of course, the one that he can delegate power to say, okay, those people, send them out of the hall, is Anne-Marie Palmer Ikuko, Acting Manager, Corporate Communication and Public Affairs. We also have other big men from Nigerian NLNG who are not here yet, but I'll just mention them so that you know that they're joining us, because they might be online. Dagogo Bowari, Manager, Algerian Content Development. Dr. Effiong Akwa, CEO NDDC, Chairman CEO NDDC. Mr. John Hussein, DG Copyright Commission. Well, he used to be represented by Nnamabia Arinze, Assistant Director, Nigerian Copyright Commission, but I'm not sure she's there yet. So having done that, let me now do the one that's CORA. Here we have members of the board of CORA, but then the chairman is here. Some others are joining us online, others will be joining us. So let me formally welcome to this place, and he was one of the first guests to arrive. You know, clap for CORA, because we make sure that our chairman is here. Chief Kayode Aderin-Okun. Of course, for writers who are here, they know Kayode Aderin-Okun to be one of the most influential chairmen of Association of Nigerian Authors, Lagos. He's also a published poet, so it's a good year for the former chairman of ANA to be here. In fact, he told me that I will have wished to sit with the poet, but we say, no, today you are not a poet. Today you are. So Chief Kayode Aderin-Okun is the chairman board of trustees of CORA. Others are online, so I need to get their name eventually. Flying all the way from New York and Abu Dhabi, a great supporter of CORA. In fact, I wonder why he's not on the board of CORA, but we drag him into so many boards that we're just sparing. But every time we have an event like this, he has to come in. Professor Awam Ampa. He's the Dean of Arts and Humanities, New York University, Abu Dhabi campus. Also, former director of Tisch School at New York University. That's one school I wanted to get into, but I was not.
Literary creativity is worthy of their investment.
Thank you very much for talking to me.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
So since we're talking about flying, we also have Professor Greg Mbadiogu, who flew all the way from
So it means that your publishing house is... Okay, so how do you feel making it to the long list of 11?
It's really exciting. It's not every time you find young people on this list. So to be on the list number 1, to have your friends, I know every single person on that list, and I've been involved with them in one way or the other, either at association level or with prizes. So it's absolutely mind-blowing. I couldn't be in better company.
So what do you think you're looking at the long list? What do you think your chances are of making it to the short list? How optimistic are you?
The thing is, I do not have any expectation, because just being on the long list 1 is good enough, and knowing that any which way it goes is going to go to somebody I love is just awesome. So anyhow it goes, this is good.
That sounds rather diplomatic.
I mean, I can't say anything. it's not about being diplomatic. It's more about if it was any of those people and I wasn't on the list, I would still feel as happy as I am. That to be on the list again,
So, did you when you started writing this particular book, did you think that you were going to enter it for this prize?
Not really. The first draft for this book was read in 2016. And shortly after that, I went to England and I did a couple of things. So somehow, I just didn't think I would do it. And it was a last minute thing, the book was ready. We don't really write for prizes. But last minute, I was talking to a few friends and the rest. I was more concerned with pushing my writers into it, being a publisher. And then one of my colleagues was like, hey, let's just put this in, let's give it a shot. I said, are you sure? I said, yeah. So we put it in and God did the rest.
So we have only one woman this year.
Equal.
Are you going to say that the reason we have only one woman is because many women are not publishing enough, or their poems are just not good enough?
It's hard to say. Women are writing a lot, but I would also say it's possible that most women are not putting their best feet forward. I often look forward, as a publisher I can say this, because for every 2 female poets I publish, I have 20 male poets. So the disparity is really much. It's not that they are not writing, it's they are not publishing. And this prize is basically for people who are published. So I think that's where the problem is. It's not that they are not that good, but they are not coming in.
So one word to describe the Nigerian Prize for Literature.
Awesome.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure.
CORA Governing Board and the leadership of the Nigerian Liquefied Natural Gas Limited to welcome our friends, book lovers, book readers, literary enthusiasts, plain well-wishers, everyone here present to the 13th edition of the book party organized by the partnership of CORA and NLNG Limited. The last time we got together was August 8, 2021 at a hotel. It was a celebration of the long-listed writers for prose fiction, and it was the first gathering after COVID. As you know, time is now divided into pre-COVID and post-COVID. We're here because a profitable Nigerian gas company decided that a way to spend more share of its profit is to enable the Nigerian reading space. I want to congratulate NLNG Limited, who are currently expanding their factory by 35% for the opportunity that the global market for gas continues to provide them, so that they will have the incentive to continue to sponsor this prize. A round of applause for NLNG. The NLNG runs the largest midstream hydrocarbon plant in sub-Saharan Africa, and it is a dutiful payee of taxes into the Nigerian treasury. It actually pays more taxes to the Nigerian treasury than NNPC delivers into FAAC account. This afternoon, we'll be discussing a range of texts in the poetry form. It's a genre that is more Nigerianized than any of the genres in the literary arts firmament. As you all know, the Nigerian writer is firstly a poet, and secondly a prose fiction stylist, and thirdly a dramatist, and well, sometimes a children's literature writer. The first book party, which took place in the scenic seaside premises of the Goethe Institute on Victoria Island in 2010, was organized after a review of the first 5 years of this prize, 2004 to 2009. That party was in response to calls that the prize should do more than a glamorous gala night in which one author got rich, but the Nigerian book trade and literary scene as a whole didn't seem elevated. Sympathizers of the award argued back by saying that the NLNG Limited, through MPL, could not alone wipe out all the entrenched challenges of the Nigerian literary landscape.
CORA decided to help out. We asked the question, why don't we organize book readings in which the top laureates come out to engage the audience? For what is the worth of the riches when you don't have an audience? Nothing beats a book reading. It's an event at which an author sits and discusses his work with readers in the room. The book party is one of a series of events in CORA's annual calendar, which preface our annual Lagos Book and Art Festival, LABAF. LABAF, which is our prime event for the year. This year, the theme is Pathway to the Future. This year, CORA has determined 3 initiatives that extend the book reading to more than what we're doing today. First, regardless of who wins the MPL this year, this afternoon's laureates are invited to the book trek segment of this year's LABAF to share their work again with festival attendees. They will also be hosted to readings, any of them who chooses to, at the Roving Heights bookstore in the week after LABAF. For years, CORA has been working on a book reading hour for underserved schools extensive service project. It's the reason we created a library space equipped with books in our secretariat in Surulere. Now CORA is in the process of engaging with the network of book clubs and reading promoters the chairman is Richard Mama, who was just introduced now, whose key plan is to implement a project to plant book clubs in the 774 local government areas of the country in collaboration with public libraries in Nigeria. What we are doing is to work with this network to host book reading sessions for underserved public schools in the vicinity of our secretariat twice a month. CORA has returned to the thrice-a-month book reading program with the bookstores and culture spaces, which was truncated by COVID in 2020. In 2019, the full year that we had a book trek program, we featured 10 book readings involving 5 books spanning 4 reading spaces over a 6-month period. Of course, that is quite short, that's quite small, and we need to expand that. Permit me to repeat our invitation to all of you to participate at the Lagos Book and Art Festival from November 14 to 20, 2022 at the Freedom Park in Lagos Island. The theme again, Pathways to the Future. Since we're discussing poetry this afternoon, I'd like to seek your indulgence, Chair of Board of Trustees CORA, to read a poem which speaks about the future. I'm not going to read from any of the books contending for the MPL this year because I don't want CORA to be seen as having chosen who should win. But because I don't want to steal the thunder from these people, I will not mention the name of the poet from whose book I'm reading. It is sufficient to say that the poem was inspired by the birth of this poet's first child. A newborn baby, after all, is one of the most poignant statements about the future. So this is a very short poem. The title is The Measure of Things. Here it goes. I have measured you in my hands. What you weigh is my future. It is a burden which you share. Your life is in two spans, the time of growth and the time of death. But of all this, death astounds infinitely. Life springs out of a plow. It is a murmuring river. We race towards it because it is familiar. It is a breath of something more infinite than thirst. The little life in a court, trembling with sleep, is the past and the future. and the continuous present. It is immortality wrapped in a bundle. I can't tell you who wrote this poem. Whoever wins the MPL is the most literate Nigerian in the year of this winning. The Nigerian Prize for Literature is the biggest cash prize award for a literary competition on the continent. On the street today, $100,000 would deliver 72 million naira. I know that is illegal. The prize money makes the competition to be as keen as some of the most prestigious literary prizes on the planet. But what writers want primarily is to distinguish themselves with magical writing and gain a wide audience in the event. Simply put, the recognition is important. We're going to have an exciting time this afternoon, engaging with this star-studded cast of writers, so let us enjoy the moment. And let me remove myself from the equation. Again, let me crave the indulgence of the CORA Board of Trustees to invite all the laureates here, regardless of whoever wins the prize, and everybody here present to the 23rd Lagos Book and Art Festival in November. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Toyin Akinoshura of CORA. Let me just ask a question. Chairman, did he do well? Or we should sack him? A big round of applause for Toyin Akinoshura. Thank you very much. Now, the next to speak, because this is a partnership project, is to invite the GM, General Manager, External Relations and Sustainable Development, NLNG, Mr. Andy Ode, and he's coming through this end.
Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you all. The reason why Tony stood there, I refused to stand there, was because I wanted to make sure that CORA reflects at the background. And he didn't want to stand here because NLNG reflects here. I wish I could take the podium to that point and drag Tony to come and stand with me while I make my comment. But again, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate your being here today. My colleagues insist that I must today behave like a proper artist who has a script, who must read or speak from his script. I'll try to do that, but I'll step out a little bit once in a while. And the things I say off script should not be quoted, should not be remembered. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, lovers of arts, and in this case, literature. It's really, really exciting to have all of us here today. We're here today for just one reason, to celebrate young men and women who have made entries through their works to ensure that they are part of the progress we're making in arts and literature. In this case, the Nigeria Prize for Literature, the someone said 222, but okay, 2022 edition of the Prize for Literature. First, I'd like to congratulate the 11 authors whose works have made in this keenly contested race for the most prestigious prize for literature in Africa. This level of excitement they are creating and generating for us. I'll say to them, whatever anybody says, whatever happens after today or by the end of the year or precisely in October, you have distinguished yourselves. We have tried to label the group today Poetry's Best 11. You are Best 11 because it is not a short list, it's a long list, and opportunity will present itself for who wins in October. So, again, a round of applause for those who are today the best 11 of poetry. There's something distinct about arts and artists. With words, images, and sound. So whether you're a writer, you're a drummer, excuse me, you're a writer, you're a drummer, you're a dancer, you're a painter, or you are a dressmaker. We create a lot through sound, through images, stories, and because of those of us who are here today, sometimes arts and styles, the way the clothes we wear get designed, and people follow what we do. We as artists, when we tell stories and we design things that become styles of today and the future, we bet the most exciting things in life. Things that are amazing, memorable. Moments that are amazing and memorable. So just imagine. Just imagine that we don't have artists or arts in our world today. You probably won't have writers. You probably won't have dancers. You probably won't have architects and designers. So, to use a colloquial adjective and popular language, everything would just dry. Everything would just there as it be without art. What do you think? Not be so? Not be so? So, as we celebrate our best 11 and as we thank CORA for this worthy partnership, which has lasted for over 30 years and continues to get stronger, we also look today into the audience, friends that we hope to collaborate with beyond today. And as an aside, I was speaking on the side to Coco Kalango, and we said, look, in 2022, for the first time, we need to have the next set of long lists or short lists in Port Harcourt. So amongst the 11 of you today, we look forward to seeing 3 out of 11 in Port Harcourt sometime soon this year, ahead of October when we announce the winner of the prize. Now let me be selfish a little bit and talk about my own company, Nigeria NLNG. I mean, Tony said so much about CORA, and I was wondering at the point if CORA is the sponsor of tonight or today. So for us in NLNG, we continue to remain an example of the best that Africa can bring forward. Just like we're producing today, we're showing today the best of what Africa can bring in terms of literature and art. Nigeria NLNG is the best example of this because we are committed to our vision of being a globally competitive LNG company helping to build a better Nigeria. We demonstrate this by engaging in many value-driven CSR programs. And really, I will not go into those programs because some of them you've heard, some of them you know. But we do scholarships from primary, post-primary to tertiary level, and even postgraduate levels. We are involved in vocational training in our host community. We do a lot of infrastructure projects. And of course, we do a lot of health interventions to improve the life and livelihood of our people. The Nigeria Prize for Science, the Nigeria Prize for Literature, and the Prize for Literary Criticism, which are all called the prizes, demonstrate our commitment to our vision of helping to build a better Nigeria. Now back to the CORA book party of today and the 2022 edition of the Nigeria Prize for Literature. The race is still on. The winner will take home $100,000, and the prize will be presented in October 2022. And the winner will also be announced. But today, let's interrogate a long list of 11. Let's celebrate the people that we have in our midst today. Let's celebrate our poets. And let's celebrate Nigeria's contribution to global literature and art. I thank you very much, and please let's enjoy the evening. Thank you very much for listening.
Bigger round of applause for Mr. Andy Ode while we're searching for the next item. It's a big round of applause for Andy Ode while we're searching for the next item. That was Magic Fingers. Thank you very much for that. Now I have the permission of, I've seen more people join us. Another member of the board of trustee in CORA, Mr. Femi Udugbemi, the filmmaker. Please just stand up for recognition. And Mr. Theo Lawson. Theo Lawson is the chief warder of Freedom Park, architect. Thank you very much, sir. You know, I'm trying not to get on that stage anymore because whoever climbed that stage must be one of the people we're celebrating today. So what I'm going to do is to make sure that I just call the names one after the other. I'll be standing down here because that stage is now sanitized. With that dance, that was a ritual for sanitization of the stage. So I'm no longer qualified to be on that stage. I mentioned that we had 3 of our people who are not here, 3 of the laureates who are not here with us because they are outside of the country or the third person is not here. Sadiq Sukogi is outside of this place, so he's not here with us. Romeo Oriogun is not here with us. He's also outside of the country. Shegun Adekoya is not here because he's also not here. So others are here, and we'll be doing the projection in the order in which I will call them. I hope the technical crew will bear me that privilege to just project the profile on stage. I'm trying to manage time. I'm not sure I need to read the. I'm not sure that I need to read the profile because it's projected and it's also in your booklet. Please make sure that you have the booklet. But while doing that, I almost committed an error just now, even though I'd been warned about that. I just wanted to say, I've been warned that I need to read the profile, but maybe I have to read from the screen there. The interim administrator CEO of NDDC is here with us, Dr. Effiong Akwa. And there are other directors who are here, but I don't have the full name here. So thank you very much for joining us. NDDC is a partner, a friend organization to the NLNG. They are all in oil and gas. We are just artists on our own. The profile, some of the profiles in the brochure is very long, but the one we're projecting is very short. So that is why I don't want to read from the, because you look like I'm privileging someone or you're making someone too, so that's why I want to read the one that is being projected on the screen. So I can start again with those who are not here so that we meet them. Can I have Sukogi on there, please? Can I have the profile of Sukogi up there? Okay. A 2017 finalist of the Brunei International African Poetry Prize. He is the author of Inside the Flower Room, selected by Kwame Dawes and Chris Abani. People don't know that I don't have good eyes. Okay. It looks awkward that you can read on the screen and I'm reading it. But okay, I'll go on. He's the author of Inside the Flower Room, selected by Kwame Dawes and Chris Abani for the New Generation African Poet Chapbook series. Sukogi's poems have appeared in the Kenyan Review, Prairie Schooner, Gulf Coast, World Literature Today, New Orleans Review, Oxford Poetry, African American Review, Best American Experimental Writing, and elsewhere. He holds a degree in mass communication from Ahmadu Bello University, Zaria, Nigeria, and is pursuing a PhD in English at the University of Nebraska, Lincoln. So now you know why he's not here. Next is Romeo Oriogun. Please, big round of applause for Sadiq Sukogi. You'll be meeting his book shortly. Okay. Romeo Oriogun, who is also not here, is author of Sacrament of Bodies, which was a finalist for the Lambda Award for Gay Poetry. Oriogun has received fellowships and support from Ebedi International Writers Residency, Harvard University, Hutchins for African and African American Research, Oregon Institute for Creative Research, and the HE Artist Protection Fund, winner of the 2017 Brunei International African Poetry Prize and an alumnus of the Iowa Writers Workshop. He currently lives in Ames, where he is a postdoctoral research associate of Iowa State University. Romeo Oriogun, big round of applause for him, please. The next is Adekoya. Please. May I have Segun Adekoya's profile? Again, for our guests online, we thank you very much for being there with us. The writers some of the writers who are not here are actually joining us virtually, and they will be interrogated by the moderator when we get to that. Can I have the profile of Adekoya, Segun Adekoya, please? Okay, same. So I'll just go. Segun Adekoya teaches oral and written literature at the Department of English, Obafemi Awolowo University, Ile-Ife. The first chairman of the Osun State chapter of the Association of Nigerian Authors, and the author of the widely acclaimed book, The Inner Eye, and Oriel on Wole Soyinka's poetry. Ife Testament is his 5th collection of poems. Fortunately, we didn't have his profile being shown. Something is happening at the back there, so I'll just... Okay, now we have to compose those who are here. Sorry for that break in technological transmission, or whatever you want to call it. I'll start with... I want to be sure that they have the profile ready. Femi, please. You just take a short, quick music break while they get it. Are we ready now? Thank you very much. I've been assured that the transmission can now continue. Please, a big round of applause for the Afrikaners for saving my face. Again, good afternoon to you, our guests who are in-house, and those who have joined us online. Eventually, we'll get to do some recognition there. We continue with this. I don't want to say it's a man's world, but out of the 11, only one lady among them. And I've said that she has to be the queen of today. Equal Diana Abase. Storyteller, performance poet. I wish she's on stage already, so. Storyteller, performance poet, and editor. She writes prose, poetry, and scripts for radio and screen. She has performed on many stages and is the author of Symphony of Becoming, a collection of poems shortlisted for the Nigerian Literature Prize, the Wole Soyinka Prize for Literature, and the Association of Nigerian Authors Poetry Prize. She's also the author of the short story collection, Eforiro, and Other Stories. Coming Undone, as Stitches Titans, is her sophomore poetry. Equal Diana Abase, thank you very much. Yesterday I said she's the only woman standing, or the only one who is left, and people were clapping for me. Thank you very much. The next is Agema. Please, can I have Agema on screen? Swedi Veshima Agema. Multiple award-winning writer. You can start bringing him on set, please. I think the men can sit anywhere they like. I've placed my queen, so but you can sit next to equal on either right or left. So Kogi, Agema, multiple award-winning writer, development worker, cultural enthusiast. I lost orientation because that thing just blinked. Multiple award-winning writer, development worker, cultural enthusiast, and editor, Swedi Veshima Agema. I asked him about that middle name, and he said he called it for me, but I don't want to murder the name, so I'll just keep it. He's a Nigerian poet, editor, and literary administrator. Author of 2 poetry collections, Bring Our Casket Home, Tales One Shouldn't Tell, and Home Equals Holes, Tale of an Exile, and a short story collection, The Bottom of Another Tale. Agema is a past chairman of the Association of Nigerian Authors, ANA, Benue State Chapter, as well as council member, National Teen Authorship Scheme. He blogs at, you can read it. It's a WordPress address. So thank you very much, Swedi. Next is Obari Gomba, Professor Obari Gomba. multiple award-winning writer. Gomba is an honorary fellow in writing of the University of Iowa, USA. He has been Touch Global South visiting professor and visiting fellow at All Souls College, University of Oxford. He is presently the Associate Dean of Humanities at the University of Port Harcourt. His poetry is limpid, fresh, and uncluttered, and assured like the voice of an early morning stream. That's the comment of a critic. Thank you very much, Obare Gomba. I think, where's the lady who is helping me? You take the other. Next is Amunadi, who would like to write his name with a small a at the beginning and small n at the beginning. So Amunadi. An award-winning poet whose books include The Fire Within, 2002, winner of the inaugural Anna NDDC Gabriel Okara Poetry Prize in 2002, Pilgrim's Passage, 2004, listed for the Nigeria Prize for Literature in 2005, Through the Windows of Sandcastle, 2013, shortlisted for the Nigeria Prize for Literature and winner the Anna Poetry Prize, both in 2013 as well as winner of the inaugural Glenna Luchai African Poetry Book Prize in 2014. Here Jurono, 2015, A River's Journey, 2016, A Field of Echoes, and The Love Canticles, 2020. Please, big round of applause for Amu Nandi. It's just good that some of the long-listed are veterans on this prize project. Some of them have actually been nominated in the past, so we're happy to have that. The next is Remy Raji. Next